There's a big way that the Detroit Lions can take advantage of this whole Jalen Ramsey Steelers trade. Let's talk about it. Hi, it's Mike Payton from A to Z Sports Detroit. Today we're going to talk about how the Lions can get involved and take advantage of this Jalen Ramsey trade that the Steelers and Dolphins just made. Obviously, the Lions are not going to get any big Pro Bowl corners out of this. They're not going to go get a huge edge rusher or anything like that, but they can get a really solid tight end too. I know that's not the thing that everybody wants to be the most excited about in this whole world, but the Lions actually do need one. I know they have Brock Wright, and they have Kenny Yeboah, and they have Shane Zylstra, but the Lions spent the summer looking for tight ends. They spent the offseason looking for tight ends. They were looking at the draft. They were looking at free agency. They had guys come in. They have been looking for someone particularly who can run block. And that is something that Darnell Washington of the Pittsburgh Steelers can absolutely bring to the table for the Lions. Now, Washington is a name you might remember for a couple reasons. His NFL Combine in 2023 was huge. Everybody watched this guy with the giant hands making these one-handed catches, big 6'7" dude, huge. Not much of a receiving tight end, a phenomenal blocking tight end. Really good run blocker, really solid pass blocker, but he's kind of found himself down the depth chart in Pittsburgh now. Not only did the Steelers get Jalen Ramsey, they also got tight end Jonnu Smith in this deal. And with Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth and Cameron Hayward, the Steelers are pretty set at tight end at the moment, so they could spare Washington. Washington is someone the Lions really liked in that 2023 NFL draft. They had Sam Laporta out for a top 30 visit, but they also had Washington out for a top 30 visit. So there was some interest. There could have been a move that possibly could have happened. They wound up going with Laporta when he fell to the second round. That worked out beautifully, obviously. And now the Lions could use another tight end. Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, Kenny Yeboah, all serve a purpose. Good pass blocking tight ends. But run blocking is where they really, really struggle. And that is where Washington can absolutely come in and score. And this doesn't have to be a very expensive trade. While Washington was a third-round pick for the Steelers in 2023, he's not putting up third-round pick numbers. And the going rate for a guy who is third, maybe even fourth on the depth chart at his position right now in Pittsburgh, it's not going to be super high. I would say a sixth-round pick would get this done and get Washington into Detroit where he could be the tight end too and be a huge part of the Lions' run game as well as their pass game. And I would even be interested to see him as a fullback. It's just a giant mountain of a man carrying that ball. You'd love to see it, right? So that's just one idea that we have for the Lions. Let me know what you guys have in the comments, and we'll see you next time.